Good morning everybody, and welcome to Juma Live Drive this morning. We've got something very interesting going on here. We've got the Impala focused on something moving in the bush. The baboons heard them and came over to see what it is because they can't see what it is. You might have seen them standing on their back legs. There we go, there's Elby having a look as well. Now I know what it is. Because I saw it, and one of the rams saw it a little bit earlier, and then one or two of the females must have seen the movement and they started calling and they alerted everybody else. Now you can see the rest of the impala coming to have a look now because they've been snorting and snorting and snorting. And what it is actually looks like it might just be coming out of the bush there. Let's just move around the corner. You can see baboons have decided nothing to worry about here. Baboons haven't given an alarm call. Has it already gone over the road? so one or two are still not convinced. See, look, they're going for a better look. And what it is a little grey daker. I thought, well, maybe there is definitely something, but no, it is definitely a daker. Baboons are also having a look, going, what? And this poor little daker has just had all of this. Oh, it has already crossed the road. I'm trying to see if I can get a view of it. Baboons are still looking. Let me go across the other side there and we can actually have a look properly. But this poor little daker has been looking back at them and it's almost as if saying, what? What did I do? But we will go back and have another look at the Gowrie gang as well because they keep heading off. But welcome on board, by the way. My name's Tara. Becky's behind the camera. Mark's back in final control. And I just wanted to prove to you, sometimes they do get it wrong. I've seen Impala give an alarm call for a baboon way off in the distance. Not a baboon, sorry, a warthog way off in the distance. Maybe it has disappeared now. But shame. I did keep looking back at them. Hey little daker, where did you go? Daker had enough. Can you see it? On that side. Daker had it. Oh yes, there it is. Run away. Oh well, it was worth a try. Oh well. Never mind. But yes. Daker obviously had enough of all the attention. And now everybody is back to normal. Sorry, Becky. Okay, I can just see the Gowrie gang carrying on. But it was just quite funny because, as I say, the Gowrie gang came to see what was going on. Made me chuckle. So I'm saying to them, it's a daker, guys, it's a daker. They weren't listening to me. So I don't speak Impala. Hello, zebra. So now, of course, the Impala are on high alert. But I don't think they could pick up the scent. They could see something moving, but they couldn't pick up the scent. And unfortunately, they just couldn't see it too well. Good morning. So there's the Gowrie again before they disappear. Yeah. Morning, ladies. Shirley with little Genesis closest to us. Mrs. P and Evelyn a little bit further back. Gordy and LB, looks like he was just mating with her actually. Actually, I just want to see her rump, because it was swelling up. Yeah, it is a little bit more swollen than it was, so maybe she didn't fall pregnant last time. See, little Genesis still has a little stripe of black down his back. I think Shirley was just putting Mrs. P in her place there. She was walking ahead of her. And then, I don't know if you noticed, but Mrs. P actually stopped and walked around the back of her. And Shirley is the alpha female. Hyenas are calling. Sounds like they might have found something. I do want to head back to where Induna was with the kill. But that hyena sounds further south, maybe even on Chelapan Road. But it has been a while since we've seen the Gary gang as well. Oh, I'm torn. But it seems like they haven't broken their routine at all. They up as soon as the first light hits the ground. And they've made their way across the quarantined open area and they're heading down towards Philemon's dip. And it seems to be they've just been doing that every day. When they have been here, for the last couple of days they haven't been here. You can see just keeping a very close watch on what's going on. Well, some of them. It's like Shirley is just trying to keep warm. So yes, I don't think LB fell pregnant by the looks of it. It's actually a little bit chilly here this morning. The clouds did pull in again last night. The winds picked up. We did have a little bit of a storm, a little bit of rain. Not too much though, actually. Unless there was a bigger storm later on that I completely slept through. I'll tell you what, let's go and do a quick lap. Or head around towards Chelapan and see if we can't catch the Garrigang coming up through Finneman's Dip. I'm hoping we can do that. They do seem a little bit sombre this morning. Hi Bonnie, good morning to you. I hope you're well. I'm wanting to know if the baboons will go after a baby impala. And sometimes baboons will do, Bonnie. I don't think the Garrigang will. They haven't seemed to in the past. I think it does depend really on individuals in the area. Let's go and have a quick look. Just see if there is anything visible. It could well have just been in the drainage line there, but as I say, we'll definitely go and have a look at where Induna had the kill last night. It didn't sound like the hyenas came from there, as I say, it sounded more like in this block. This is one of those days I want to split myself in two. So half goes that way, half goes that way. And hi Mary, good morning to you. Wanting to know if Gordy and Elby are related. Not to my knowledge. Ooh, can we get that bird in the tree? Little noisy bird, right in the top of the tree without the leaves. Ooh, little raptor flying off there. Don't know how well you can see. Can you see them well? Cool, bird ID number 1 for this morning. Questions@juma.com. What bird is it? See if we can roll down a little bit closer. Oh, they're busy feeding on probably the flower buds, or there's something up there that they're feeding on. Beautiful to see them out in the open. And they're just using it to sit in. There doesn't seem to be too much up there. The odd 1 or 2 leaves. Babblers are calling. Gate turtle doves. Doo -doo -doo, doo -doo -doo. Oh, I'm feeling a drop of rain. Okay, well I do want to do a lap just before, just in case. I don't think it's going to rain. I hope it's not going to rain, touch wood. But beautiful little birds.
And look at the direction. Just a little more to the west of the Nyama upper.
Ah, okay, so Induna has put... Oh, hello, beautiful, look at this.
We are down that side.
saw something odd on the ground and it looked like a hornbill just messing around there, but it was actually this Wahlberg's eagle, paleface. I think it must have been his mate that flew off, or her mate, one of the two. Still gathering nest material by the looks of it. Beautiful. So Induna evidently has put the rest of the kill up in a tree. So we definitely want to go and have a look there a little bit. But at least he's managed to get the kill into the tree. Now I wonder if we've been seeing him leaving the kill on the ground because he's just not strong enough to take a meal up into the tree until he's eaten from it, because he ate quite a lot of it yesterday. Beautiful. Pale-faced Wahlberg's eagle. With a trail of fork-tailed drongos. Shame. No, 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 Rain, no. No. As long as the spitting doesn't get any heavier, we should be alright. The clouds do look quite high, although right off in the distance they are looking a little bit lower. Let's see how we go. And for those of you who don't know who Induna is a young male leopard, 3 years old this month actually. Would have had his birthday, not too sure of the exact date. You can never really be too sure of the exact date, but a month can be fairly sure of. Sorry? A lens, cloth. Okay, well, lens tissue. And I did release a blog yesterday. I'd written a little while ago about how to distinguish Induna from other leopards. Markings. I will try and write one about his personality at some stage. Arlene, Randy, thank you very much for my brown-headed parrot. Thank you. Beautiful little bird. Oh, he's a little bird. The only parrot that's in this area. Not the only parrot that's in South Africa though. Morning all stations. Mobile, just heading down towards Chelapan to have a look around there. Texan, come in.
Morning, how are you?
Good, thanks, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Just heard you relocated in Induna, is he Lalapans?
Lalapans, but the name is about the
Copy that. Yeah, I'm just going to have a quick look around, check the plan. I heard BC calling. So I'm going to have a quick look around here before heading that way, if that's alright. There. What have you guys been up to? Have you found something? Is that one of the mamas? In fact, I think this is the mother of the oldest cubs, and that one does look like one of the older cubs. Would you mind turning around for me, lady? No, you're on a mission. Unless she was trying to relocate her kids. That doesn't help me. She stood behind a bush. Yeah, well, her ears are perfect, which is one thing. What are you smelling, lady? Gee, she's caught something. She's got the scent of something. Wind is blowing in from that direction. Now, I don't think it's going to be much longer before the other two elder cubs come foraging with the rest of the clan. Because there wasn't too much age difference between the two sets. Now, is that the same hyena? Is that the cub right in the background? They're scratching around in the back there. Okay. Oh no, it is the cub. I'm just going to try and pull forward to see if there is something on the other side of this tree here. What she's looking at. What are you looking at, lady? What are you smelling? Are you seeing something? There's baby again. Baby's also sniffing around there. Hey, come on, Mum. Got food to find. What are you doing, Oxpecker? What's in there? Interesting, baby's doing more exploring than Mum. seeing anything in the trees. Why do you keep looking over there? Why do you keep looking over there? Yeah, it definitely does look like her. So I was going to have a scratch around the back there. But we think there's possibly a den further back here. Ooh. Is that the vulture's tree? No. Something just happened in the tree at the back there. I'm going to carry on around the back here to see what she was going to do with baby. She's also thinking there's something going on at the back there as well. Got me. Definitely watch out for this one, Becky. Something happened in that tree over there. Something big happened. There was a bird taking off or something, but I just saw a big movement there. Can't see the vultures today. Keeping a low profile. It could be they're just hanging around. But why are they just hanging around? Could be they're just enjoying the cooler temperatures. Maybe she's looking for the other cub. Could well be. Maybe the cub's gone MIA. Yes, it's me again. Stations 2 and BC at Chilapan.
We're bringing up.
2 MBC at Chelapan.
Okay, copy.
Very interesting. I don't know if I can actually get all the way around here. There we go. Otherwise we'll go down to the drainage line.
Just a little bit more to the west where we saw him yesterday on that studio there. If you look on the western side of the studio, you'll see Marula tree. The Yama is up on that Marula tree, but here Lalabas very close to that stool, but just between the stool and that Marula tree, you'll see my Cosmo over. So to the western side of that stool.
Maybe they were just regrouping them. Things small. You good there? Let's watch that one. That was fun, never been around the back of that one before. Okay. Yep, I think they must have been regrouping then. Donk. But at least we found them. This is good. Maybe it does mean that Induna, if he did have a visit from the hyenas, which it doesn't sound like he did, but at least he didn't lose his kill to them. He's learning. Which is great news. Big bird that flew off. Those branches just swayed, and I thought there was possibly an elephant, but Henry's gone that way. We should just go and check it out anyway, because he did go there, but maybe if the elephants were quiet and hidden. But I just heard a branch break. Let's say that whole bush just shook. Do that loop around. drizzle stopped. Yay! You can even see a bit of blue sky up there. Come on, clouds. Good heart. Although I think down at the coast they had rain for 3 days, I think. Which tree was it? Need to find the jackberry. Oh, but we might be able to see the vultures from here. I think it was that tree there. No, next one on. This one. So it wasn't too far from the jackberry that the vultures were sitting in. Both vultures have got their heads up. Okay, we're gonna have to go in here, I think. Say when you can see them, Becky, because it's not going to be a great view. You see them in there. Cool. The chick is possibly the one sitting in front. Looks like it's got a lot more white on it, on its neck. They're difficult to say. Oh, it just looks a little bit more fluffy. A little bit duller than the one at the back. From what I can see anyway. Might be completely wrong. Might be that both parents are there and actually the chick's still in the nest. A pair of white-backed vultures. Actually, I think that's what it is. I think both of them are sitting there, and there is some movement in the nest. I think the chick's still sitting in the nest. Nice to see them though. Definitely nice to see them. And the chick must be about 2.5 months old, so it's got to be close to fledging by now. Are you hearing any movement down there, Becky? No. Okay. Maybe last thing to try is actually the drainage line. Have one last look, see if there was anything moving around. And it's amazing, I don't know how much more water we had, or rain that fell, but you can already see the roads already started to dry. It's just soaking it in at the moment. And it's amazing, because this really does look even greener than 2 days ago. It really is quite amazing. I'm at the base of the tree. I don't want to get too close, you can see the vultures watching us. I don't upset them. Ah, there's a couple of vervet monkeys in the tree just below them as well. Okay, at least we can see the two of them nicely. I'd still say that maybe the one on the right looks more like a chick than the one on the left. I definitely saw feathers in the nest, so unless the one at the back was sitting, because it did move, I don't know if you saw that as we approached, it did move a little bit higher, so unless it was sitting, half sitting in the nest and half out of the nest, maybe that's the feathers that I saw. Ooh, I don't know if you're going to be able to get it, Becky. There's another bird sitting about halfway down. If you actually went straight down... Oh, monkey's moved it. Maybe one of the monkeys fell from the tree or something. So they didn't shout or anything, so there couldn't have been a predator around them. They couldn't have gone or been too far away. It could have been just a raptor taking off, or a monkey falling, or... As I say, the whole tree just swayed. And I heard the branch breaking. So I thought there might have been an elephant breaking it or something like that, or... I was hoping there may have been a predator. But never mind. Okay. Can you see any monkeys in there? No. You might be better off just going, zooming in, and then just having a look around the branches.
Like I'm not hugely wide.
Yeah. Yeah, because they keep jumping around the tree. But I don't want to get too much closer because I don't want to disturb the vultures. I say one of the vultures was getting up and sort of having a look down. Okay. Hi, Donna, Nebraska. Good morning to you. Hope you're well. I'm wanting to know how big is the Warburg's eagle nest compared to other eagles' nests, and do they continue to build it over a number of seasons? And yes, eagles do tend to do that, like bald eagles. You tend to use the same nest for a few seasons and they'll build and build and build. And I'd say the Warburg's is not much smaller than the vulture's nest. And the vulture's nest, they've used that for at least 2 years that I know of. Their other one was actually on the other side of the road, but they obviously decided that they wanted a different view. So they moved to the other side of the road. But the Warburg's eagle nest, I'm just trying to remember if I remember seeing it there last year. I think it might well have been. But I think we have seen 2 pale-faced Warburg's eagles around here. I think I remember seeing 2 together at one stage, but I could be lying. But I think there is 2 pairs. And one of them has a nest further down the riverbed. And that one, I'd say, was probably about this big. And Battalier Road, which is this road here, has the Battalier nest. We've seen where there's an African hawk eagle nest, and that one's quite big. So that must have been utilised over a couple of years. And there is another one on Zoe's Road as well. But we've actually seen geese take over that one. So I don't know whose nest that was, but Egyptian geese tend to take over eagle nests. try Weaver's Nest, see if we can catch up with where the Gary gang went, and then we'll head over the dam wall and go and check in with Induna, see how he's doing. Mountain lion. Good morning to you. Wanting to know what the difference is between male and female, the vulture. In whiteback vulture there isn't really any difference. It's very difficult to tell male and female. So I'm sure the chick was one of them, and I think it was the one on the right. It just looked a little bit more fluffier than the one on the left. I could be wrong, it could have been sitting down. As I say, it was just very difficult to really get a good view, and where we were the second time we couldn't really see a third one, but when we were sitting on the Vulture's Nest Road, I could see some feathers in the nest, as I was trying to explain earlier, but the way the other one was sitting, it could have been that half was in the nest and half was out, and it was just twisting its head around, but very difficult to see, unless it was just sitting directly behind the first one and the chick was sitting in. But if I had to guess, I think that if the chick was one of them, the two that we saw, I'd have said that it was the one on the right, or the front one. Yeah, otherwise, yeah, you can't really tell the sexes of the whiteback vulture. The white-hooded vulture, white-headed I think it's called, white-headed vulture, sexes are different, but in most other vultures you don't really get a diversity, a sexual diversity. There's the Gary gang up ahead. They are walking this way. It's down the road, guys. Dimorphism, there. Yeah, that's it, thank you. Sexual dimorphism. Sorry, I was completely distracted then. I heard Induna leopard cub. Induna leopard cub. We've got the Gary gang, and Becky was just saying to me there was an eagle in the tree. I do need to be careful. I wonder if they've seen the eagle. The batelier. If the babies aren't careful, that could make a tasty meal for a batelier, although the adults would put a very good fight. Don't really hear of bateliers taking baby baboons, but you never know. If one of the babies is left unattended, it could possibly happen. Oh guys, where are you going? Come this way. Come on, LB. Looks like LB on the road there. And so I don't know, I was asked earlier if Gordy and LB are related. I don't think they are. Okay, I'm just gonna move back onto the road. disturb the eagle. Not to disturb the eagle. Can we get the bird? Can we get the bird? You need to ID the bird, and it is the first one that we've seen. Fantastic. Questions@juma.com. Your name and what bird that is. Welcome back. Unusually quiet. You tend to hear them before you see them. I've not heard them yet. Gary Gang have gone a bit further into the bush. Cool, what did you just catch? A grub of some description. Ah. Yeah, you lost that one. Sure. Just goes to show how eagle-eyed they are. He's actually got it. Red on the upper bill, black on the lower bill. And look at that electric blue. Stunning, stunning, stunning. And people haven't forgotten it. Joanne! Thank you, Joanne. Diane. Sally Slick. And about 20 others. Awesome. Thank you so much. It is a woodland kingfisher, the first one of the season. Awesome. Where's my kingfishers? There's my kingfishers. Drive 13. That's what I'm on today. Drive 13. Actually, I did forget to put up on Facebook the last 2 drives, what we got. Gary Gang, where did you go? Where did you go? Let's just reverse a little bit. It's all because it says too much further, unless they went, which they could well have done. Looks like they have. Oh well, at least we managed to see them. Sorry I got completely distracted, but that was nice. First time I've seen that bird this season. They are a migrant. The brown-hooded kingfisher stays put. They are a resident. But the woodland heads towards the central areas of Africa. Central areas of Africa over the winter. As I say, it's funny we haven't heard them call yet. Usually you hear them call first. So today is the 15th. The 15th of November. So whoever said the 15th of November for the woodland kingfisher, I can't remember what I said. I remember saying something, but I can't remember what it was. Well done. Like a tawny flanked prinia calling. Tip, 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 tip. Quite insistent. Hi Leanne, good morning to you. Sorry, I'm just getting your question now. I wanted to know, when a leopard cub grows up and leaves home and then comes back like in Induna, does the mother and the cub recognise each other? I hear what's going on the radio. Not really hearing them. And I am sure they do, Leanne. I'm sure they do. Because they've spent the best part of 2 years together. And they'll remember the smells of each other, probably the look, the sight. I have no doubts that they do recognise each other. And what's quite interesting is, depending on how they're feeling on the day or what the circumstances are, you might get them interacting differently on one day to the next day. I'm thinking more about Karula's daughters. Now there's been times where Karula's daughters have come back to share a carcass with their mother, and there are other times where Karula has almost been seen to try and push her daughter out of her territory, Shadow. She was really having quite a go at her at one stage, and there'll be other days where she's sitting in a similar area and she's not even looking at her daughter. So quite a difference depending on what's going on, how they're feeling. But I don't doubt that they recognise each other. And I see some Nyala there, some more impala. I was hoping to actually catch up with that baby, see if there's any more. I didn't notice any more babies. Let's just have a quick hello to the Nyala. We've got the bachelor group here. We've got female Nyala that side, female Nyala that side. Bachelor group in the middle. But they're female impala, sorry. But we've got a pair of Nyala here. Oops. can hear you guys now. I wonder where the rest of the herd is. We've got 2 rams sparring there. I wonder if the rut's going to be early this year. Could well be. And it's usually that dictates when the young are going to be dropped. It's often been thought that Impala are able to hold the young or hold the birth back until suitable conditions allow them to give birth, but it's not really the case. I mean, if they consciously held the lamb back, it would actually develop too much to a stage where she wouldn't be able to give birth to it. It'd be far too big. But the birthing is really dictated by when the rut starts. Now if you have an early rut, the lambs are going to be dropped early in the season, where if you have a late rut, lambs are going to be dropped late. Oh, there is a lamb over there. I can see one. Can you see it?
I was on it earlier.
Oh, you were? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, unfortunately, folks, we don't have a screen to actually see what you guys are seeing anymore. Well, we have the screen, we just don't have the cable. We don't have a spare one. And it's one of those. Have you ever gone out and not had your watch on and then you miss your watch? It's one of those. You don't realise how much you look at your watch until you don't have it. Okay. Well, everybody's moving off. Oh, boys are still fighting. Oh, nice. Got a school going again. School for learning how to spar. Very nice too. Okay, let's go and check in with Induna then. See how he's doing. Is there any station with the Ingwe? Maybe no one's with him. Ooh, there's the zebra. Hi, Jean. Good morning to you. Over there in Washington. That looks so wrong. The oxpecker sitting on the just above the eye of the zebra. Jean wanting to know, the drainage lines man-made or are they natural features that you might call a gully over there? And they are natural features. They're the natural lay of the land and where the water collects when you do get the rain. And the dam, Gowrie Dam, was blocked by a dam wall made by humans. But that spillway actually helps to drain off any excess water when it does rain and fill up, and that's what makes the Milwaukie flow. So the drainage lines are actually tributaries into the Milwaukie. Good morning. Going to say hello to us. Sorry, we didn't stop and say hello properly earlier. Not to worry, we're doing it now. Partner in crime. Can you hear the parrots again? Brown-headed parrots. That was the first ID for this morning. Oh, there. They were sitting in this tree here. There they go. I think that's the father of that young stallion that walked by. This looks a little bit larger. Oh, I can hear the Jacobin cuckoo. Go through the molt and have, or the ones that are drab during the dry season, they go through the molt and have their beautiful colours. The colours of those that don't change colour just come out brighter and all ready for breeding. Oh, hello. Did you manage to get them? Yeah, cool. So if anyone's able to ID, probably not the greatest visual of them, but hopefully that bright red bill and the black feathers might help you to ID it. Hi Terry. Good morning to you. How come there's no francolins around? Do they migrate? We haven't been seeing too many francolins, but where we have been seeing them, they've just been in thick bush. We've been seeing them out on the road recently. But they are around, they don't migrate. They are here. I've been hearing the tail francolins calling a lot more than the crested at the moment. But I will try and get a couple of francolins on camera. So they have just been in the bush. I'm not trying to run in the middle of the road. I'm trying to race the Gunda for a change. Makes a nice change actually. Hello Hippo. What are you doing? How are you doing today? Probably going to be a little bit chilly for reptiles really today. I'll keep a good eye out. And there goes the Deirdre's cuckoo again. Okay. I'll leave the waterhole camera to play with the hippo. Oh, and the black cuckoo's just started calling. Can't whistle. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I've lost my whistle. That's not good. Nobody lying there, nobody lying there. I think Lisa actually sent me through some information about Steve Irwin. They're doing a tribute to him today over in Australia. It'll be their afternoon now. Actually, I have to have a look about that, see what's going on. I think for whatever people thought about Steve Irwin, he certainly did a lot for reptiles and got them out there. Excuse me a moment. Does that belong to us? I don't know if somebody lost the map last night. Whether it would be one of the guests. Hi Joy, good morning. What's up Waterbuck? Joy's wanting to know, do the oxpeckers hurt when they take the ticks off? And do they take ticks off of lions and leopards? I've no idea if it does hurt. To be honest, Joy, I have no idea. I would have thought it would hurt that much, otherwise the animals wouldn't allow them to do it. I think they do get quite... Hello, little boy. I think they do get quite irritated. Another little boy up there as well. Because where the oxpeckers stand on them, and the way that they hang off the ears and hang off the nose, and I think that gets quite irritating. You sometimes see them shaking their heads and trying to get them off, or it's actually quite funny. We saw a nyala with quite a number of oxpeckers sitting on its back, and he was using his horn to try and move them off. Very, very funny. But as far as actually removing the ticks go, I can't imagine it'd be that painful. But I've never had a tick bite me, or the big ticks. I've had the little pepper ticks, and I got tick bite fever from one of them. Really wasn't happy about that. It is not a nice thing to catch, I can tell you that. Bye boys. You're a little bit uneasy, but the wind has picked up, although the wind here is actually not that strong. It's quite sheltered here. But as far as oxpeckers taking ticks off of lions and leopards, it's a no-go. I wonder if there's ever been chicks that have actually landed on lions or leopards by accident, but they won't do it again. Reason being, they could become food. Especially if it was a cub. That could make for quite an interesting plaything. So they usually just stick to the herbivores. Large and small. Impalas, wildebeest, zebra, giraffe, rhino. Some areas elephant, although not here. You don't really see them on anything smaller than the impala. I was trying to think. I've not seen them on. I haven't seen them on warthogs. I don't know if anybody out there can help me. Have you ever seen oxpeckers on a warthog? I don't remember seeing them. And duikers and steenbok as well. I've not seen them on them. Only of the dwarf antelope. But if anybody out there has seen oxpeckers on anything small, please share with us. Is there any station with the Ingwe on Gary Cook Line? She knows. I'm actually thinking we should get better signal today, because we've got a lot of cloud above us. Not have the signal breakups that we had last night. It was along this road, wasn't it? You saw it? Yeah. Sorry? Yeah. How far are we? A little bit further. Just at the end. So I'm looking for tracks. Then we need to look out for Marula tree. Was it by this tree that you saw him? Becky was eagle-eyed yesterday. Ah, it is. Tracks going off. Although not too many actually. I wonder if there's... I was going to check, see if there's another trail. Oh no, that does look like it's the main one. That's one and this one. Both. Which one was from today? This was from... Sounds like he's slightly further in than what he was yesterday. that's why it was that one there. The termite man they were talking about.
No, this is.
They said he was lying in between the termite mound and can you see him? If I go around the tree, am I going to be able to see him there? So this must be the Marula tree that they're talking about. I still can't see him. We're close to him.
Yeah, it's like, you see a small bush? Green.
Yeah.
It's just lying on the left.
On that side?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's amazing, just the height of a metre difference really does help. There's the kid in the tree. So he's over there.
Yeah, behind the bush.
So I don't want to drive on top of him. Oh, there he is. Now I see him. Yeah, he was just a little bit too low down for me. Can you see him through there from here? Ah. Okay, well, at least now I know where he is. I can try and angle this a little bit better. I'm so proud of him, putting his kid in the tree, and it looks like there's still quite a lot left. But he took out, well, looks like he took out all the organs last night. Good morning, Jack, how are you? I'm good, thank you. Just got Induna still at the same place with the bumper on Gary Cookline, just myself and the lock. Haven't really heard too much from the other guys. Sorry, go again? Can you see him from there? Not too well. He doesn't look as agitated as he was yesterday. Nice and full, but then again the wind has died down considerably and he's found himself a nice sheltered spot. You're not able to see the kill through the tree, are you? Just at a different angle. Should really have showed you that before we actually drove in. Let me see if I can just move back a little bit anyway, because we can actually show you where he's put it. I was hoping we could actually see both him and the kill together, but it wasn't going to quite work out. I am wondering actually if I pull forward into that gap we might be able to see him through there. I'm going to try and see if we can get a better view of him without disturbing him too much. Maybe if I come in... Oh, that's why I couldn't come in there. I remember now. If you can get it from here, yeah. I did well to get it up there, and you can actually see when he stands up how thick his neck is starting to get over 3 years. And yesterday, I mean, we couldn't see it too well, but I know Mark was saying that he was lifting the whole carcass off the ground. So instead of dragging it, he was actually lifting it. So he was maybe putting weights on it a bit, weightlifting. But he does need to, get strength in his neck, so he is able to carry carcasses up a tree. And that way he is going to be able to keep it safe from hyenas. But I don't think hyenas have been around. I don't think they've caught the scent of it just yet. It is thought that Induna has lost part of his tail to a hyena. Possibly even floppy ear at some stage. But now... you wouldn't really tell that he's lost part of his tail. I know some people say when they see a leopard and there's not too much white on it, they think that it's Induna, but if he does actually have most of his tail, it was literally just the tip that he was missing. And while it was healing, it was definitely quite a good sign to distinguish him between him and his brother. But certainly now it's very difficult to see that he's actually missed a bit of his tail. It's certainly quite good to know that he is doing well for himself, and the fact that he's still here on his mother's territory and hunting, I mean, it really is quite something. And we don't know if she's going to get to that stage where she's tired of him being here and she starts to push him away. She might not do that at all. Could be that she's quite happy and there's enough food to satisfy both of them. But certainly I think when the time comes for him to start mating, I think that is going to be a problem. And I think the big males, she might not necessarily push him out, but the big males might. Males might decide, you know what, son, you can move out now. And that would be his father, Yambidiodan, and his grandfather, Mafufanyan. And now Mvula also coming into the mix, who's not related to any of them at all. Okay. Can't go around there. Can't go around there. That's all quite thick there. I wonder... I might be able to just back into that bit. That might be the easiest way to go. Let's give it a go. See if we can get a view of him for you.
Go out here and go around where the other vehicles went in.
We came in through there. That other one linked up. That's where I went in the first time. The other one's linked up. Hello, pretty boy. You'd have to tell me when the best view of him for you is. How are we doing? Listen? Yeah? Yeah? Okay. Sorry? No, he's not going to do that much at all. This is what leopards do best, sleep off their kill. At least if anybody hasn't seen him, you get a nice look at him. You can see he's breathing very heavily, his stomach is huge. So he's just going to be sleeping off his kill. And to be honest, I think it is much more comfortable for them to sleep on the ground. You see them sleeping on the ground a lot more, and if they have the choice, they seem to sleep on the ground more. But if they need to, they can sleep in the tree, especially out the way of hyena. Now it could be up in Eastern Africa you see them in the trees a lot more, possibly because of the biting insects. Might offer some refuge. We don't tend to get those down here. We still get flies, and they still can be quite irritating, but I think maybe not on the same level as what they can be in Eastern Africa. And as I say, depending on what's going on, how big the kill is, you might not even get them taking the kill up into the tree. And we have seen on a number of occasions Induna not putting his kill in the tree, and I think it's possibly that he wanted to, he just wasn't able to. I remember when he was probably about just over two years old, maybe just a little bit more, 2 years and 3 months, say, something like that, I forget. But he pulled down an impala, and he pulled it down. We got reports from the lodge, because he actually pulled it down in front of the lodge, and it must have been around 10-11 o'clock, and by 6 or 7, when the sun went down, he still hadn't put it in a tree. He hadn't eaten too much of it. It was almost as if he was actually recuperating from it. But I think again at that stage it was just too big. I think it was a ram, actually. Could have been a ram, but it was just far too big, I think, for him to put into a tree. So he was actually trying to cover it. And we've seen him with a kudu calf as well, same scenario. Couldn't get in a tree, sundown, and both times hyenas came in and stole it. But he was still quite young. He wouldn't have had the strength, possibly, to put such a big animal in the tree. But we have seen him put duiker up in the tree and smaller things. And there has been question marks over kills, who made the kill, when him and his father have actually been seen at the same site, as to whether Induna or his father made the kill. But I think this can really be none other than his kill. He was found, or seen by Becky, and he had probably made the kill fairly recently. sometime in the night. They found him the following morning. Managing to put it up in the tree after eating from it. I mean, when you guys returned, there wasn't much in the way of intestines or heart or anything like that. There was no organs inside, was there? It looked like quite an empty cage, so it looked like he cleaned it out pretty well. Hi Bev in San Francisco, good morning to you. And noticing more and more that Induna has a heavy rapid breathing when he's just resting. Is this normal? And I say, especially after a heavy meal, yes, their body generates heat from digesting, and that heat has to be expelled somehow, so heavy breathing is going to obviously help that, and rolling onto the back, exposing the stomach, also going to help that as well, and the stomach having quite thin skin over it. But combine the heat that's produced by the digestion with the heat of the day, it's going to be quite a combination, and that's why, especially on hot days, you see them panting even more and breathing rapidly even more. I mean, today he's actually not breathing as rapidly as what we have seen him on a hot day. It is fairly cool. I would say he's got a nice breeze over him. It's not too strong. So he is breathing rapidly, but he's not breathing as rapidly as what you will on a hot day. But that is because of that heat that's going to be generating. So it is normal. If they've got an empty stomach, you're not likely to see them breathing as rapidly as when they do have a full stomach. But I do wonder what it's like. I mean, I think the fur must insulate them a little bit. You know, I often wonder about the waterbuck. I mean, their fur is very, very thick. I think they must, you know, it must be insulated to a certain degree. I know in some areas, you know, the people will actually wear thick blankets, and that's got to be similar to having fur. But I think it also does work against them quite a lot as well. But if it worked against them too much, then we would see no fur on the animals. And certainly when you get into the larger animals like the rhino and the elephant, that obviously is what's happened, or you know, over so many hundreds and thousands of years, they've developed bodies with less hair over them, but they are much larger than the cats and other animals. So it could be that actually they don't need to have fur, especially with the elephants with the large ears. That helps to cool them off. And maybe if they had hair on the body, that would actually work against them, because their body area is just so small compared to something like a leopard or a lion. if there's no more leopard questions, maybe we should leave Induna, because as I say, I don't think he is going to do anything anytime soon. Oh, okay, if there's a couple of leopard questions, we'll sit with him for a little bit. Hi, Josie and Beverly. Good morning to you. And wanting to know, when a leopard puts a kill in the tree, why doesn't the vultures or buzzards or anything try and get it out of the tree? And I think that the vultures just find it difficult and possibly don't see it. That's possibly another reason why leopards will either put it underneath a tree or put it in a tree. As well as keeping away from hyena, it will keep it shielded from sight from the vultures. And the vultures may also alert hyenas and lions to a kill. So lions and hyenas will often watch what the vultures are doing to see if there is any vultures descending, and they know, okay, if there's a lot of them, they do know that there's going to be a kill somewhere. So quite often they'll follow what those vultures are doing. When it's in the tree, it's a little bit difficult, I think, for them to really get to. I mean, if you have a look at where the impala is, they would have to land somewhere on the lower branches and try and scramble the way up and maybe even sit on the carcass, and that could put them in danger. They might not be able to take off quick enough from where the kill is, if the leopard does return. And I remember when Patrick Benson was saying, he's a vulture expert, and he joined me on a fireside chat once, and he was saying if the carcass is anywhere where it's difficult for the vultures to take off, they're very wary of it. They prefer the carcasses to be out in the open. Even if there's a carcass just in the bush, you'll find that there's not many vultures that will try and visit that carcass, but if it's right out in the open, then at least they've got that area to take off from, because they're huge birds as well. So it's, if there's a problem for them to take off, then they're going to be very, very wary. And I think that's possibly another reason why, or possibly the main reason why, you don't really see vultures on kills in the tree. Battaliers and tawny eagles you might. Battaliers and tawny eagles are quite good at finding carcasses. But again, if they're flying over and it's shielded, then they're not going to spot it, because they tend to rely more on the sight rather than the smell. Same with the vultures as well. Our vultures use their sight to locate a carcass rather than the smell, like the turkey vultures. Hi Kieran, and welcome on board to you this morning. Wanting to know how old this beautiful male leopard is. He is 3 years old this month. It could even be his birthday today, we don't know. I think somebody did say there was a date for the birthday, but you can never be too sure. You can never, unless you actually see the birth, you can't be too sure of when the birth date actually is. But we know it's this month. We do know it's this month. Same as the cubs, his younger siblings, who are a year old. So they'll be a year old, he's 3. Same as Mishu. Hi Luke! Bonjour, over there in Quebec. Wanting to know, is there a genealogy tree for the leopards here in the Sabi Sands, or at least in Juma? And there is. We did have a number of family trees made by a number of viewers, and if you go to the Juma web page, it's one of the earlier blogs. So if you go to the blog page, and that's on www.juma.com, if you go to the blog page and then go scroll down, and then it says previous posts, and just keep going until you see Karula's family tree in pictures. I think that's how I titled it. Karula's family tree in pictures. And then it's got Karula's family tree, Safari and Mafufanyana on there as well, and pictures of each of the leopards. And I think there was 3 trees altogether, and each one had something quite interesting about it, something slightly different. So definitely have a look at all 3 of those. But I think, yeah, that's all the leopard questions. Then I think we shall leave him, because as I say, I don't think he is going to move anytime soon. But certainly nice to check in with him though. Okay. Hi, Brighter. Okay. So, Brian and Teresa, good morning to you. And we'll just stay with him while I answer this question. But wanting to know how aware is he of the surroundings when he's sleeping, and he'll be very aware. If there was a twig that snapped a little bit off into the bush, you would see a very different cat. He would be up and having a look around and trying to focus all his attention on where that snap happened. If there's a slight movement in the bush, he'll know about it. It's very rare they'll really go into a really deep sleep. He's used to us, he's used to the vehicle, he'll be used to me talking, so all of that will be normal for him. But as I say, a sleeping cat is not a cat that's completely unaware. If I was to climb out the vehicle, he would be aware of that. It would be different, it would be a different sound to what he's used to. If I was to climb out and walk around the back of the vehicle for instance, he would know. But this is normal for him. So as long as it's normal, he doesn't need to worry about it. And that's why we will spend a little bit of time with a sleeping cat, because you never know what might happen. I mean, there could be any chance of a rhino walking through here, or a herd of elephants, or buffalo, or a steenbok that doesn't know he's there and walks into view. Anything is possible in the bush. And that's why we will spend a little bit of time usually with a sleeping cat, just because you just don't know what's going to happen. And sometimes patience really does pay off. Sometimes just spending that few extra minutes, you get rewarded big time, because you actually sit and you're not moving around, so you start to get birds popping out, and then, as I say, if there's anything hidden in the bush, they start to pop out as well. Because then the sound of the engine's not going, and they've gotten used to you being here, you've gotten used to obviously the sounds that come from the vehicle, and they become a lot more relaxed. You can hear the babblers calling in the background there. But if a herd of elephants came through, you might get a reaction from them. They might start trumpeting and chase him off. A herd of buffalo also. We've seen Karula sit until the last second before the buffalo decide, "Nuh-uh, we don't like you being there," and they chase her off. You see the ear twitching every so often. And that's one of the reasons why animals actually do have the ears up on top of the head like that. So, especially if you think about the grazers, when the head's down, they can still hear over maybe some of the taller grasses with the predators. Obviously when they're hunting, that's going to help. They can focus their hearing without anything being in the way. With us, we have to turn our ear to the side to actually focus on what's ahead of us. The cats can just put their ears forward and see or have the focus there. But when they're lying down, one ear is always able to have a clear view, if you like, of what's going on. And with them being able to turn it as well, means they don't have to turn the head all the time. Beautiful boy. Okay, well, let's leave him to sleep. Keep a lookout, whoever's zoomy, keep a lookout down by the dam. Gary Dam is the closest drinking spot from here as far as I know. I don't know, over the road in Buffles Hook there might be a slightly closer dam, but I think Gary is the closest for him. So he might just go for a wander down there at some stage, if he hasn't done so already. I'm just going to see if he's going to suddenly wake up if I switch on. No, not really. Thanks, Induna. Stations leaving lock of Waningway, the Bumba, open lock. Taking my wire. I don't want to be doing that. Standing by. Sorry, you're breaking up quite badly. Go again. No, still on the pans where the guys left him, just in between the Shadulu and the Marula tree where the Bumba is. Well, it depends on where you park the vehicle, but you can get 5 out of 5, but he is Lalapams. Okay, where should we try? Where should we try? See, part of me wants to go west, just in case the wild dogs decide to make an appearance from Arathusa. But part of me wants to go east and see if there's been any sign of lion or anything like that passing through. I did hear something about lion, but I think they're in the north. I didn't hear too well what was being said. So, where to go? Mind you saying that, see, no one, I don't think anyone's checked the south. So, where do you guys want to go? Down this way, and by the time we reach the end, see if anybody has any suggestion. Maybe someone's got a feeling. Yay, my whistle's back. Tank Menace. Good morning to you. I'm wanting to know about the Gowrie Gang. Has there been any change since Tank Man? Is it business as usual, or have they changed? And there has definitely been a change. They have started to settle down a little bit, but there has definitely been a change in them. Tankman was a lot larger than Gordy. Unfortunately, Tankman died a few months ago now. And especially in the first few weeks, they were very edgy, very, very edgy. I mean, going down Philemon's Dip, they would literally run to every tree, and they would stop and climb that tree. Whereas, as you saw this morning, they were walking, they were a little bit more relaxed. They went to see what the Dacre was all about, with the Impala snorting at it. They also came over to have a look. But certainly a little bit more edgy. And even now, they're still not completely sure of themselves. But they are getting better. They are getting better. And I think with Gordy, he's been sort of thrust into that position of being alpha male with the lack of another male around. So now he's got a huge responsibility to keep the troops safe. That wind's just picked up. Sure. Okay, we're definitely getting off of this road. And we're definitely not doing Cheetah Cut Line, that's a certain. This road is windy. Wow. There's going to be a gale force down Cheetah Cut Line. Was that Sarah? Sarah. Hi Sarah. Good morning to you, Sarah, in California. Wanting to know, is there any birds that make or mimic other bird calls, and what's the most interesting that I've heard? And there are a number of birds that do mimic. Some of the shrikes, the fiscal shrike, which we don't get here, mimics extremely well. You also get the fork-tailed drongos, they do mimic. And they actually do a very good mimic of the pearl-spotted owlet. And I don't know if they actually do that to keep other birds away from the territory. Could well be. But they do a very good mimic. And there was another one that I was reading the other day actually that was quite... shocked me. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, have we got any emails as to where we should go, Mark? Buffelshoek Dam or the west? Or the south? Roy said Treehouse Dam. Okay. Roy said Treehouse Dam. Wants to see the quarry on Gowrie Bay. Beverly Lions. Okay, we'll take you straight to the Lions. Who was that? Jennifer. Jennifer's saying I was having a problem whistling earlier. I should have some lip tightening exercises. I think it's to do with the moisture on your lips. So if your lips are too dry, you can't whistle. And I think with the wind blowing, drying out my lips. How many animals was that? Oh wow. Hi Brendan. Good morning to you. Oh Brennan, sorry Brennan. Difficult question, Brennan.
Maybe I'll give you a shot or something. Nothing outside. There's Majingies with the Yari Bamba, but on the double end boundary, Yari and it's normal.
So I think we are heading south.
Yeah, but close to Hoffman.
Majingi lions are on a buffalo kill somewhere down in the south. Hello. Okay. So yeah, Brennan, difficult one there. I have absolutely no idea. My estimation is not good to the best of times. Standing by.
West of some booty dam on the fire break, there's a slumpy
Okay, copy, thank you. Have you happened to go through Sandy Patch at all? Okay, copy. Any sign of Meducha or anything that side? Sorry, go again? I can hear him. Okay, well apparently somebody is doing the west, so that's the west covered. Melva Ann having a feeling about Sandy Patch. There is a guide there as we speak, so at least that one's covered. I was thinking I have been down there for a little while, but it's not great signal down there. Yeah. John saying honey badgers. I'd love to show you a honey badger. But let's definitely, we can try the quarry, because that's where one of the spots was where they saw honey badger. And on a day like today, you never know, honey badgers might come out. Just want to have a look around here. Starlings and the grey lures in the tree. Sitting in the centre of the tree trying to keep warm. Temperature has dropped a little bit again. So, yes, how many animals are in the reserve? Yeah. Numbers. I struggle big time with numbers and estimations. Maybe someone can Google it for us, see if anybody has got some idea of how many animals. I don't even know how you could even try and work that out. Ooh, hello Mr. Cuckoo. Able to get the cuckoo. Been hearing him calling. He's the reason why we've been getting rain. Not really. He is known as the rainbird. because they do call for the approach of rain. And whoop, 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 whoop. And usually a bird that likes to stay in the thicker bush. Unusual to see him sitting so high on top of the bush. Relative of the cuckoos, funnily enough. But they don't parasitize other birds. They are actually nesters themselves, and they will rear their own chicks. But they are a bird that other birds don't like to have around. The reason being, they'll eat other birds' chicks. A little bit flying around madly after an insect. Okay, it's landed. Are you able to get in? Can you see him? Just in the tree at the back there. This is your next ID, and it looks like he caught it actually. He was flying around like a mad thing. This is the next ID. Oh, can you see it? Awesome. Huge dragonfly apparently. You should really have a look with my binoculars. Did he just fly off? Where is he? There's that. Oh wow, it is as well. You can see him knocking on the side of the branch, trying to kill it. See how it's using the tail for balance. Minor adjustments. And that knocking it on the branch as well is going to help to break up the body of the insect that it's eating, the dragonfly. So it's going to make it a little bit easier to swallow and hopefully digest as well. Thanks, Amber and Diane. Little bee eater. Ooh! Ooh! I just saw it go into possibly an aardvark hole. Yes, it's just come out of there. Must be having a nest there. No way! Brilliant! Yeah, there it goes again. And bee eaters do tend to nest in soft banks. And this is the second pair that we've seen using an aardvark hole. Unless this is the same... Where were you, Mark, when you saw the other little bee eater going into an aardvark? So it is on Zoe's. Yeah, I thought you were. You're on Zoe's road. Oh, there's the the mate further back. So this is the second one that they've... I've never known bee eaters to use aardvark holes. That's not one of the birds that's usually listed to use aardvark holes, but there you go. We've got two different pairs using aardvark holes. Amazing. The little bee eater. Fantastic. Such a beautiful little bird. One of my favourites. I love the bee eaters. You're gone. Sure. So there is another nest. Purple flower. Someone asked me the other day what my favourite flower was, and I'd actually forgotten about this one. So I was trying to... I remember there was the Commelina, which is a little blue flower, but this is also one of my favourite flowers. One of the solanums, the poison apples. Now, I was always under the impression that the deadly nightshade was also a solanum, but I was doing a little bit of research the other day into something else, and I just happened to look up deadly nightshade. And it turns out it's actually not, it's a different genus, and it's often confused for a solanum because it does look like it. And the black nightshade is often confused over here for the deadly nightshade, which is possibly what was told to me, and that's why I was under the impression that the deadly nightshade was also over here. So the deadly nightshade is a different genus, but the black nightshade is a solanum. And apparently those berries you can actually eat, but that's why it's very very important to make sure that you've actually got the right plant. Apparently they are quite small berries. But what's quite interesting is if you have a look at the flower itself, and there's that beautiful yellow, bright yellow stamen, and that will only open at the right frequency of buzz from a particular insect. So it won't just open for any insect, it's got to be the right sound, right tone for it to open. Now that sort of relationship between a flower and an insect, when they have such specific insects that they have to pollinate them, even though it does restrict them, it does mean that they can pretty much guarantee that their pollen is going to get to another flower, because if they are so restricted to that one insect, or maybe a couple of insects, but this particular flower is supposed to only open for the one insect, then it is, okay, putting all the eggs into one basket, so to speak, but it is guaranteeing that that insect is going to go to all the other flowers in the area to pollinate. Quite amazing. And there are other plants like figs who rely on a particular insect. The figs rely on tiny little wasps to pollinate their fruit, and these little wasps will often live inside the fig itself. Cool. Can hear the southern bobo calling. It might just be a little bit too far for you to hear. Cool. Alrighty. So I'm gonna take Mamba Road. Yeah, we should have time. We're gonna take Mamba Road, Drakensberg drive down onto either Mamba Road or Battalier Road, one of the two. And then we'll head down towards Twin Dams, head along Gary Main, head to the quarry, and then up towards Treehouse Dam. How does that sound? Hopefully that sounds good. Hi Terry, good morning to you. Wanting to know about the hippos. How often do the hippos come out of the water? Because you haven't seen them out of the water. And why do they come out of the water? Is it to eat? And is there a hierarchy with the hippos? And they'll generally leave the water usually at night this time of year, although today you might actually see hippos out grazing. And it is to leave the water to go and feed. They do graze. They eat grass. In the summertime, they actually use the water to protect their bodies from the sun. The sun can damage their skin. So they use the water to protect their skin from drying out and also for getting sunburn. But you may see hippos out during the day, not too far from the water usually, in the summer. And in winter you might find them out during the day a lot more because the sun isn't as strong during the winter time. So they can actually afford to be out either late afternoon, early morning. Sometimes you'll find them snoozing on the bank. Say during the summertime they do tend to stick in the dams a lot more during the day, coming out under the cover of darkness where the skin is not going to be damaged. And yes, there is a hierarchy between the hippos, dominance hierarchy. Females generally live in a pod. You can have maybe 2, maybe up to 50 in a pod of hippos. And there will be a rank between the cows and also the males. The males are highly territorial. Highly territorial. The hippo males will generally not tolerate other males within his little bit of territory. Now, depending on how much water is available and how much territory is available will dictate how large... It was off. Fly trying to get inside my mouth. How rude. But that will dictate how larger territory. So if there's not much water around, you'll find that the bulls have much smaller territories. And if there's high density of hippo as well, that will have quite a big impact on it. But that's also why, Terry, some days you find hippos in the dams and some days you don't, because they move between the dams too, especially the females. Clouds gotten quite low over sun, but the sun is trying to break through. I'm seeing the sun. I'm seeing the sun. Wondering if I've got the right. Oh, hello. Move this. See if I can move it out of the way. I don't know if it's attached to the tree or not. Hello, Oriole. There you go. It's always amazing to have these huge dark clouds with sun just poking through and actually really shining up the greens from all around the trees with the dark cloud just behind it. Doing. Just makes it even more vivid. Ah, maybe it was this tree. I'm looking for the nest of a bird. I can't remember what road it's on. We are on Battalier Road if anybody is following us. Maybe see if the hyenas came this way. Hi, Diane. Howdy, down there in Texas. Hope you're well. Wanting to know, do we have to be careful about what perfumes or hairspray or anything like that we wear? For the insects, yeah. I mean, I generally don't wear perfume or anything because it tends to attract insects. But if you're in the car, it's not really going to make much of a difference unless it's really overpowering. I think the animals have kind of gotten used to the strange green thing that smells different all the time. It's all the collective smells of the people and what they wear and all that sort of thing. But when you're out in the bush, when you're on foot, it's best not to wear anything that smells too strongly. Hello, son. You're going to join us today. Did I bring my... Ooh. Forgot to bring my knife. I shall have to remember to bring my knife. I was very proud of myself though. Look what I remembered to bring. I said I was going to bring it on drive in the afternoon. But I totally forgot, but I remembered to bring it this time. But I did actually forget to bring my knife. It's not one thing, it's another. Never mind. But yes, The White Lines of Timbavati, Chris McBride. That was the book that I was talking about last drive. All about the white lions that were born in the Timbavati. It was 1975 they were born. 1975. Wasn't even a twinkle in my daddy's eye. That's when something ran down the tree trunk. Don't know what it was. It's too quick to see. I forget what they called them now. I think it was Tomby and something else. Tember and Tomby. Tember and Tomby. Tember being the male and Tomby being the female. October 1975. And then there was another one, Puma, which I didn't know about. Female born some 9 months later. To different lionesses. To you. I wonder, you might have just missed the start of drive. But Brent wants to know, did we ever find out if LB was pregnant? And judging by this morning, I don't think so. Her rump looked very swollen this morning, which tends to mean that she's in estrus again. And Gordy was mating with her, so I don't think she did fall pregnant. I don't think she did. Ooh, I'm hearing my favourite bird. I'd like to tick him off my list. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? I'm hearing you. Come out and play. Nyeh, nyeh, nyeh. He's over there somewhere. One of these days, I got my favourite bird. One of these days. He was singing so sweetly outside my room this morning. Ooh, I want that bird though. Ooh, ooh. He's in this tree here, bobbing about. Okay, Okay, you can hear him calling. He's right in the middle of this tree here.
Has he just blown down?
You might have to do this one off of call. Oh, there's another one. Near the tree. Can you see him moving around? He's just in the top now. He's still in the. He's actually closer to us now. He's still in the same tree, but he's possibly going to come out. You see it? Yeah. So there you go. There's the next bird ID.
You see him in that one?
It's in this one. I just can't see it. Let me just see if we can move forward. I don't know where the other one went. It was in this one. It might just fly off. Oh, there's the part. No. Okay, you see it? You see it bobbing about in there. Yep, both of them are in there. There we go. One's coming to the front. Can you see it? Sitting right up on the branch.
Yeah.
So sticking out the closest towards us. There we go. There. Doesn't want to make it easy for you. It's a challenge.
You see any one of them?
Nope, not anymore. Oh well, I'm hoping you
A brief good shot for like a split
I'm hoping you saw it. But it did call quite nicely next to the vehicle. Oh, there we go. No, gone. Oh well. So we'll see. We shall see if anybody can identify it. Maybe if I actually say what it says. Patrick used to have a good one for it. I see an island in the water. Ooh, hello. How you doing, ladies and gents? Should be able to see the ladies on the left and the gents on the right. Unfortunately, no dung beetles to play with either. But Nyala females, there's a little baby there. Maybe a month or two old. I don't know, were you able to see the male? Did he go?
No, he's hidden now.
The baby was cute. But it's been a while since I've played with a bit of dung. If we have anybody on board that's never seen elephant dung, here is some elephant dung. You can see it's quite brown in colour, and turning over, bits of leaf, that's probably was actually on the ground to begin with, but bits of bark in there. Bits of bark. You can see it's quite fibrous, and you can get elephant dung which is sort of this sort of size, huge, so this is possibly from one of the youngsters. But when the dung dries out, the dung beetles, when they eat it, might actually have a problem with it, and if it dries around the mouth, then they will actually die. So the dung beetles, that's one of the reasons why you won't really see them out in dung like this. It has to be nice and fresh. But they also need to have a little insect that helps to clean the mouth. Otherwise, if they don't have this little insect, the dung will dry on the mouth and it'll stick the mouth together, and then they can't feed. And they're tiny little mites that live actually on the dung beetle. But as I say, they like the fresh dung. But that is probably a good couple of days old. It's not fresh, unfortunately. A few more bits of elephant dung there. Sorry, what was the question? Kieran wants to know what my favourite bird was. Oh, I haven't got these birds.
Tara.
Got another ID there for you. Standing by?
Yeah, Tara, Miss Dad's active with one adult and one youngster.
Copy that, thank you. I have yet to tick this one off my list. I think. Cheeky little chappies. But yes, what is my favourite bird? I don't think I'm going to be seeing it today. White-bellied sunbird is one of my very favourite birds. Those and the bee-eaters, I think, definitely are my favourite birds. I don't know, there's something about the white-bellied sunbird I just love, and I love that little call as well. It's very chirpy. Cool. Well, hopefully you guys can ID the birds rooting through buffalo dung by the looks of it for any insects. There's the island. An island with a terrapin on it. And that looks like a marsh, or helmeted, or Cape terrapin. It goes by 3 different names nowadays, apparently. Much flatter shell than the hinged terrapin. And sadly it's not an island in the sun today for it. You'd also find the terrapins picking off the ticks you'll find oxpeckers sitting on the backs of the hippos to eat the ticks, but the terrapins also will eat the ticks. Trying desperately. Trying desperately to bask in the sun, or what little sun there is. Oh, I think hippo's sleeping. I can just see the nostrils. Thanks, Laura in Finland. Thank you so much for my orange-breasted bushshrike. Wonder if you got it on sight or sound or both. So, orange-breasted bushshrike. Says its name. Orange-breasted bushshrike. Yes, I did. And it says, coffee tea or me, coffee tea or me. Thank you, Virginia. Virginia Garcia with red-billed hornbill, the flying chili. As opposed to the flying banana. In honor of Patrick. Oh, really? Oh, well, we need to get moving then. Okay, we need to head to Treehouse Dam via the quarry. I have dillied and dallied a little bit too long. Sorry, Hippo, let's just stay and chat. Well, you're sleeping anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay. Let us went. Woo! Sorry, Becky. A bit of a hole in the road now. Was there many others that got the orange-breasted bushshrike mark? Ah, okay. Looks like some people are lagging a little bit. Amber got it. Oh, that was it. Amber and Laura. Yeah, it was a difficult one. It wasn't easy to see. I'll show you a picture when we get to the quarry. I want to get to the quarry and then get to Treehouse Dam. Giraffe went over there. I can't believe the giraffe snuck by the other day. I haven't seen giraffe for a little while now. When, sorry Mark, you were cutting out a bit. Hi Jojo! Good morning. Sorry, I just need to get your question through again in a bit, Jojo. We're breaking up a little bit. Yeah, a little bit. Which bird is the most territorial and aggressive? I would say probably the most aggressive were the lapwings. You try and walk anywhere near their nest, they will dive bomb you. Peck your head if you get too close. So I'd go for the lapwings being the most aggressive. Especially the blacksmith or the crowned. They tend to be the most of their species. Last station, can you send again?
Small traffic of Yala South, junction with the bus station.
Copy, thank you. Sounds like we missed the elephants by a fraction. They must have been quite far in the bush. Apparently they've just popped out by Nyala Road South and Vulture's Nest, that junction. They must have been quite far in the bush. Okay, we're here at the quarry. Unfortunately, just a little bit too far away to really go and see them now. But this is the quarry, and sometimes you can get cats in here. Sometimes. Not really too much to see. Too much in the way of tracks either this morning. Little puddle. It's funny actually, because when we were at that little junction, I was thinking of going Nyala Road South, just where we were by the pans, and then I thought, oh no, let's go Battalier Road. Should have gone with my instinct. Oh well. Never mind. Oops. This afternoon we'll see if we can drop in on Teddy. See how he's doing. He or she. I think we will have a look around Sandy Patch tonight. Have a look. We'll see if we can catch up with those elephants that have just popped out. bush fax machine. Rattling Sister Gola. Ooh. Little mast weaver. Still busy, I see. I see you no longer. Wall's getting very thin. I don't know. I know it's going to be an awkward angle, but we will just have a quick look at one of those nests. Just in case we've got people on board that have never seen a weaver bird nest. These are built by the southern mast weavers. And the southern mast weaver doesn't have an entrance, a tunnel to the nest at all. You see it's quite flush. And there'll be a hole in one side. And I'm wondering actually the one that's sort of half started. Can you see it, Becky? This one that's not with the bunch of them, the one further up. Because I think you can actually see where the hole is. So the hole's actually the closest part of the nest to us, and then the actual nest part is a little ball shape next to it, and you can see it's actually, they've started making that one, but it looks like it's either in the process of being made or it's been abandoned. I think there might just be one or two males here. There's usually quite a big group of them that will come and start building the nests all together to try and attract the females in, and then they start to show off how good the nest is. But unfortunately it has come time to say goodbye. I'd love to go and try and have a look at those elephants, but as I say, we better get the batteries back on charge. And we'll see if we can try and catch up with them. They're probably about a good few minutes drive from here. But thank you very much for joining me this morning. Actually, if I should just explain to you, the nest that you saw over there, it's sort of this sort of shape, and if you can sort of imagine if the hole sort of being down here, and they'll climb in this hole here, and the nest will actually be just here. So the nest would sort of be almost like a little cup. So that's why you've got the nest shape sort of this sort of size. So go in there and sit in here. So that's how the weaver nests work, and the chick can't fall out of there unless there's very strong winds. If there's strong winds, the nest starts doing this. That's unfortunately when you do get the eggs or the chicks falling out, unfortunately. Hearing the francolin behind me. I was still looking for a francolin for you. Hiding behind me, then tell francolin chirping away there. But thank you very much for joining us this morning. My name's Tara, Becky's been on camera, and Mark's been back in final control. And if you would like to join us, then please do this afternoon, 4 o'clock Central Africa time. I'm hoping the weather is going to hold out for us. But, the weaver bird's just in his nest. You're able to pan over quickly as I'm saying goodbye. Actually is on the newest looking one. Beautiful. Southern mast weaver. Are you on him? Yeah. I was hoping he was going to make an appearance. Beautiful. But yes, unfortunately folks, I am going to have to say goodbye. Take care, and we'll see you again soon here on the Juma Live Drives. Yep.
Hi everybody, Mark here in Final Control. Thank you very much for joining us this morning and helping with the idea of Ultara's birds. I think she's way ahead of Seb and myself in this whole checklist thing. But it's going to be interesting once we've put it all together and see what we can come up with for a couple of weeks of November. I'll be seeing you a little bit later this afternoon. I'll be here in FC sometime during the day, trying to answer some emails. And chat to you again later. Good night if you're going to bed. Have a wonderful day if you're on our time zone. And chat to you later. Bye all.